Good morning, it's Quant Trade Edge, and I wanted to point out a Forex trade that is happening live. Obviously, I don't know if this will succeed or not, but I just wanted to show you a setup in real time. So this is the chart of silver, the daily chart. And we had 4 days of consolidations. In fact, each day is inside the other day. Okay, this one's a penny out, but this is a very tight consolidation for 4 days. So initial momentum is up, then we got a consolidation. So the next likely direction is also up, but we do wait for the market to tell us that. The high here was 31.79, and a breakout buyer could just buy that. It happened on news, could have been a lot of slippage, but what we do is we wait for what we call the 4x trade. 4x, the number 4x, because we tend to make 4 times our risk on this trade. So off of the CPI news, we had this big impulse. And then we got a very clean A, B, C. And then that ABC also has, an inside bar situation here. But essentially what we're doing is when we took out 31.79 to the upside, which happened on the news, we were put on notice that we've broken out from this 4-day consolidation. A lot of breakout buyers chase it and buy it in here, and then sometimes they puke it when you get this pullback here. So what we do is we wait for the pullback, and that pullback comes in the form of an ABC. It can also be a hoagie, but typically it comes in the form of an ABC, and we wait to buy this. And that way our stop, this is actually a fairly large bar. Sometimes you get very tiny bars to trigger you in, but here this is a 20-cent bar, but 20 cents is not that much given the range of silver. So what the Forex trade does is it will take you in on a buy stop above this level, and your stop is below here, and scale it so that whatever your unit is, you're risking 1 unit. If it doesn't work, you lose a unit. If it works, you're typically going to make multiples, hence the name Forex trade. So if this were to go to the upside for silver, usually 1.618 is the minimum target that I set, and that is 32.36, and technically 4 times this above would be 32.45, so it's just slightly above that. And really you can put in your OCOs and go to the beach. There's nothing else to really do and watch on this. I've found for me, if I try to get too cute with the very short-term technical analysis, I just end up kind of having a suboptimal outcome. So I'd rather leave it, and I treat it as a set of binary events. Either I'm going to get 4 times my risk, or I'm going to lose 1 time my risk, and I'm going to do this hundreds of times a year, and it's going to work out in my favor. That's just my perspective on why I do it that way. And for me, the reason I do that is, for me, it's a lot of mental turmoil to sit around and try to overtrade a very short time frame. I would rather do that on something else where I have actual confident signals that I see, versus creating signals in my head because this happens to be the market that I'm watching. So anyway, this is the crux of our 4x trade. Typically, it's a break of previous day high or previous day low with a good Taylor setup that would trigger this. In this case, we had a beautiful 4-day pattern, and we can check in on gold also, because gold had a very similar pattern. Gold's pattern, this is silver. Gold's 4-day pattern had a top at 24.0150, And from the time we broke above this 240150 and made this high, we've only had one leg down on the 5 minute. Even on the 3 minute, it's just one leg. On the 2 minute, okay, you technically have you have this and this on the 2 minute. This is technically triggered, but that does feel like we're stretching a little bit to try to justify the pattern here. If silver's going to go up to new highs like we think it is, gold probably going to do the same, but this pattern is just not as clear. And also on gold, if you notice, it's maintaining a better relative strength. This was the breakout high, and this breakout high actually served as support, whereas in silver we got a deeper pullback. I think, was it 3174 or maybe 3179, which is serving as resistance right now, but we got a much deeper pullback. So perhaps gold's going to be stronger, but unless you were looking at it on this time frame and caught this low into the high of the 4-day breakout, it's kind of hard to touch it at this point. So anyway, just wanted to point that out in real time, and hopefully this works out, and hopefully you were already in it because you've been watching my videos and have already developed your own system around it to catch these.